Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and your daily Chelsea news update. And another day, another week, and another teenager closing in on a move to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea are advanced stages now for the signing of Barcelona striker Marc Guiu, 18 years old, £5 million release clause. Chelsea talks are very advanced with his agents, and it's now a player decision on whether to stay at Barcelona or to come and join Chelsea. There have been some talks about whether he'd be going on loan to Strasbourg, but apparently the deal is believed to be for Chelsea, not for Strasbourg. So we're going to dive into all that. Guiu could be on his way to Chelsea. The Blues want around £30 million for Amari Hutchinson. Ipswich are expecting to make an offer. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. I think 30 mil is probably a bit steep to be asking for him. Maybe 20, 25 is probably more sensible. And yeah, Chelsea now out of the race for Serhou Guirassy as well, confirmed from reports in Germany. Chelsea no longer in the running to sign Serhou Guirassy. The club is still looking for other players who operate on the wing, but a striker is now a priority over other positions, according to The Athletic. And we've then got, obviously, news coming out of Italy that apparently Napoli are willing to consider offers of about 100 million euros, which is a lot less than the release clause for Victor Osimhen. Does that change things for Chelsea or not? We can discuss that. I don't think it massively does, but with this football club, you just never know. Obviously, Omari Kellyman undergoing his Chelsea medical today. Could have already undergone it for all we know, but he will be coming in for £19 million, which seems ridiculous considering less than 2 years ago he cost 650 grand. But, you know, it is what it is, isn't it, guys? It is what it is. But big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you are new around here as well. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat. And, yeah, then we're going to crack on with proceedings. What's everyone saying this afternoon? Another young player getting tired of signing unproven players. No, fair enough. Actually sick of these kids. It's beyond the joke now. Don't see Chelsea team getting top 4 next season. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, welcome to the future. This is what we are now, the future. Yep, Gallagher set to come into the lineup tomorrow. I think that's so obvious, wasn't it? Went from Osimhen, Elise, and Sesko to Guiu. Yep. No, I hear it. I hear it. Yes, big up, bro. Miz made a good point. He said he thinks his directors think the first team squad is complete, and that's why we've only targeted these young players. Yeah, look, maybe they do. Although I'm not sure how they can look at the squad and think it's complete. Because we know that, you know, we need a striker. We know that we need. Look, we probably do need a better goalkeeper. We probably do need maybe a better left back than Ben Chilwell if he can't get himself back to a decent level of fitness. So, yeah, I just can't see how they would think the squad's complete when they look at what we've got so far. Yes, there's brilliant options, you know, when everyone's fit, but the problem is not everyone's always fit. And I just can't look at the Chelsea squad and think, do you know what, this is fit now, and this is good now, and we're just in a position where we can add a few younger players. I just can't see that. Yes, big up, bro. More and more teenagers with no experience. I was saying we're finished as a football club. It's just I just can't quite understand the direction that we're heading in right now. I just don't understand how these guys can't see that we need some experience sprinkled in the team to help us in tough moments and for these younger players to learn from. I suppose that their thoughts are, look, these inexperienced players in 1 or 2 years will then be the experienced players for these youngsters that are coming in now to learn from. But that doesn't really help us in the short term. Why are we selling Amari? Again, it would be pure profit on the books. I honestly think with Hutchinson, we'll get into it later, but I actually think it's better. I honestly think there could be a chance for him to maybe compete for a slot down the right-hand side, you know, with Madueke. I don't really know. Relegation fight this season, I don't think so. If we're paying 90 million for a kid from Villa, then Hutchinson is easily worth excess of 30 million. Yeah, like I get it from that point of view. Yes, big up, brother, big up. Yes, big up. It's important to note, as arrogant as the guys upstairs are running the kindergarten show, the main core of our team from last season remains intact. Yeah, look, I absolutely agree. I don't see us finishing in a lower position than last season. I just don't know if we are going to drastically improve, would be my main point. Guiu must be someone they want to get, but still go for a starting striker. Look, I think so. I mean, that's what reports are suggesting, that Guiu wouldn't be the actual the main striker coming in. Chelsea would still be looking to find another striker in backup to Nicholas Jackson, but you just don't know. Yes, big up, bro. All good. Hope you're well. Anyway, let's dive into it then. Another teenager looks like he could be on his way to Stamford Bridge now. So this was reported coming out of Spain, and then there's been more added by Fabrizio Romano. So Chelsea are convinced that Marc Guiu will become a great striker on the big stage, and the £5 million release clause is seen as an opportunity. Negotiations are very advanced. Once signed internally, they will decide the best path for his growth. Now, I wonder, would Chelsea be looking at this deal whatsoever if there wasn't a £5 million release clause in it? I suspect probably not. I suspect they might like the player, but I suspect the main thing that's convinced them on this one is, of course, the cheap release clause. I think I look at this and I think, do you know what? Compared to the other youngsters we're signing, it's frustrating, but I don't hate this as much as like spending £19 million on Kellyman or other similar deals that we've been doing. I think at £5 million, there's not much of a downside. You know, if he comes in and he does well, brilliant. You know, it's a player on the cheap. If he doesn't do that well, or he goes out on loan and he impresses and he's not quite good enough for Chelsea or whatever, then you are guaranteed to make a profit on the £5 million that you signed him for. So from that perspective, I don't really have an issue with it. It's a sort of a youth signing that I can sort of get behind a little bit more. I'm not saying he's going to be any good or what he's going to be like or how good the kid actually is right now. He's obviously a talented boy. He's come through Barcelona's famous La Masia Academy. You know, he's already got 7 appearances for the first team. He's scored a couple of goals. You know, he looks a decent-ish player. But I think that, I don't know, I can get behind this one more. I think I can get behind this one more. And I think, ultimately, at this price, it's a deal worth doing, in my opinion. But I just don't know if are we attracted to it because of the 5 million, or do we like the player anyway, and the price tag is too good to say no to? I'm not really sure. I wonder if we're more drawn to the fact that it's a price tag, a really low price tag, and Chelsea are seeing this as an opportunity in the market. And sometimes you've got to do smart business, because whatever happens down the line, there is a profit to be made on. There's a profit to be made on Guiu, whatever happens down the line, because you're not gonna sell him for less than £5 million. What else are we going on here? No, I don't think Kellyman will be announced today, but I suspect there will be a Kellyman announcement at some point this week. It should happen. He's believed to medical was meant to take place today, so I suspect we get an announcement. Over the next couple of days, certainly this week, I would expect there to be an announcement. What else have we got going on here? Looks a similar type of player to Man City's Alvarez. Look, I'll be honest, I haven't watched enough of him. He's not played an awful lot of football for Barcelona. 7 appearances, obviously scored 23 seconds into his debut. I think he came off the bench against Athletic Bilbao and scored what turned out to be the winner. Look, ultimately, I think he probably will be one of those. £85 million for Osimhen. Let's just do it. The striker options are so poor. Look, if that report's true, we're going to dive into that later. Does that change the scenario on that one, or were Chelsea genuinely concerned about him stylistically as well? These are things that we need to work out. And look, I want us to get a decent striker to come into the first team squad and make an impact. But if you're talking about this deal, just purely this deal in isolation, then at £5 million for someone who's clearly a talented boy, I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's a disaster. But considering the other options that we need desperately, considering how much we need to strengthen the squad. This, like, I don't know if this is something we should be doing necessarily. I just hope that we can address the first team signings as quickly as possible. But look, Romano reporting that Guiu, because there have been some suggestions that he could potentially go out on loan to Strasbourg, but Chelsea are ahead of Bayern for Marc Guiu as they presented a specific project for his development at the club. Chelsea and Barca new deal proposal. So those seem to be the two options right now: Chelsea or Barcelona, waiting on the player's final decision. Now, I'll be honest here, and I think someone mentioned it in the chat earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if he was potentially, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised, and you've seen it before, I wouldn't be surprised if he's using us to try and leverage a better contract at Barcelona than the one that's currently on the table. I wonder if that's the case. I really do. Could that be the case, that he's using us, and then we're going to see that, oh, actually he's decided to sign a new deal? It's a possibility. It's absolutely a possibility. Yeah, of course, but maybe so. But let's be real here. I mean, look, the guy's not ready to come into the Premier League and make an impact. I don't personally think. If he did arrive, I mean, is it like, where is he going to play? Is my issue. Like, we're just hoarding talent right now, and this is my biggest issue, is that we're just talent hoarding right now. We haven't got enough clubs in the multi-club model yet to send these guys elsewhere. We haven't got enough space in the first team squad either to use these guys. So what is the plan here? What is the plan here? It's like we're running before we can walk, in terms of, we should be addressing the first team, sorting out the first team first, who have underperformed for the last 2 years, then focus on the multi-club and signing the youngsters for tomorrow. We're trying to, for me, we're trying to do way too many things at once. Way too many things at once. By the way, guys, 160 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Only 48 likes. So let's get this up to 100 likes ASAP. Smash the thumbs up button. It's free and it really helps get the content out in the YouTube algorithm, get more eyes on the channel. So please do smash the like button, get this up to 100 likes, and keep subscribing to the channel if you're new around here as well, guys. Do not forget to subscribe. It's really important. I would massively appreciate it. Yeah, you've got Washington as well, but I think ultimately Washington is going to go out on loan. None of these guys coming in now are going to go into the Chelsea academy. I think we've got to be perfectly clear and perfectly honest on this one. These guys are not being signed for the academy. They are being signed to either go into the first team squad, or they're being signed for the multi-club model with a view to obviously becoming important players for us, or to be flipped on for profit. That's the reality of the situation here with these youngsters, guys. Is either you're going to make it, or you're going to be flipped for a profit, or you're going to try and flip them for a profit. That's the reality here. But as I was saying the other day, we're in a situation where it's all very good and well to have the plan of, if they don't work out for us, we'll flip them for a profit. These guys need to be playing to increase their value. And if they're not playing, you're not going to be able to flip them for a profit. So we need more clubs to send these guys to, which is why the multi-club model needs to be assembled quickly. And it looks like we're just doing too much too soon, in my opinion. Artem Dovbyk is a good option. Yeah, he's got a 40 million euros release clause, but I don't think Chelsea are going to look at him. Jonathan David Thayton was a good deal. Yeah, it is a good deal. No, he's got 1 year left on his contract. So, yeah, potentially he would be available for 30 million or less. Funny thing is how Adu at Arsenal was supposed to have all these Brazilian ties, but they couldn't land a player. I mean, I don't know if they even went in for him or not. I don't know how much it appeals to Arsenal, the Brazilian market. But Arsenal fans want him to stay, which could be a good thing in the future, like this deal, if it comes off, but need a number. Yeah, I agree. Look, this deal in isolation for me isn't much of an issue. The issue is the bigger picture right now, and the way that we're going about our recruitment. That's the bigger issue for me. I mean, look, yeah, of course, but you can apply that to any team. You know, the amount of players that make it through the academy to be successful in the first team is going to be far less than the ones that don't. But you know, La Masia is a brilliant academy, produces some fantastic youngsters, particularly the current crop. You know, Guirassy, Fermin Lopez, obviously Guiu part of that as well. There's a few others that slip my mind. Look, I'm not saying it's going to go on and be amazing. I've got no idea how good this guy would be for us if he turns up. But all I'm saying is, in isolation, purely in isolation, without the context surrounding everything else, this isn't a complete disaster. This, for me, is a far better deal than spending £19 million on Kellyman. This is a deal that I can get behind a lot more than the £19 million for Amari Kellyman deal. You know, that's how I'm looking at it. That's what I'm seeing here. They're doing too much of talents, for God's sake. Someone remove future from their brain. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Yes, yes, yes. Run it up, run it up. What else have we got going on here? There's going to be a lot of deals like that Martin deal that's looking a cool profit. You can't be mad at that. Abramovich model got in trouble. Well, look, my issue is that a lot of Chelsea's transfers right now are either they're basically being done to get themselves out of a hole. You know, that Kellyman deal is purely purely an accounting transfer at the end of the day. Purely it was an accounting transfer. Never worth £19 million at all. I mean, it's quite it's basically it's just a way around PSR. This player trading ourselves, Newcastle, Everton, Villa, all doing a similar thing. Yeah, look, and this is my point, guys. This is not me, like accepting sort of things like this. This is not me saying, the transfer policy this summer is all great so far. I'm just pointing out that at €6 million, what have you got to lose at the end of the day? You know, to sign someone for €6 million in this current market is an absolute joke. It is an absolute joke to get someone for €6 million in the current market. I just think it's a gamble worth taking for the price, for sure. Eventually, these young players will see the stockpiling and won't sign. Again, that is a valid criticism, a valid point to make. You know, I can absolutely see how youngsters will start looking at it and thinking, right, they're just stockpiling here. Am I actually going to play for Chelsea? Or am I just going to go out and spend 2, 3 years, 4 years on loan and then be sold on? You know, we got to be careful here. We do need to be careful here. Why are the Clowns signing somebody from Villa if Kellyman is not good enough for them? It's not that he's not good enough for them. It's just obviously he's not broken into the first team yet. And look, this is purely an accounting transfer. At the end of the day, Chelsea and Villa, two clubs that need to be a little bit wary of PSR. Villa have given us have signed Ian Martin from us, so that's pure profit on our books. And in return, we signed Kellyman from them for pure profit on their books. So both clubs are then helped out in the PSR situation. That's how this is working. I mean, you've seen Everton and Villa do it. Lewis Dobbin's gone to Aston Villa, and some other youngster has gone to Everton. Two separate deals, but obviously part of the same transaction. This is what clubs are doing now to get round PSR. They're basically trading academy players between one another. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means at 18 years of age, he's on the periphery of the first team. He's made 7 appearances, I think, last season in all competitions. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means that he's not gotten a regular opportunity as of yet. But Villa would have been happy to keep him. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. Unfortunattunately, but yeah, look, Guiu, Chelsea are closing in on the deal. And yeah, I mean, this should happen soon. As long as we're just waiting for the player green light. It is literally us or Barcelona, but it would be slightly embarrassing if we were if he was to stay at Barcelona, because then we would have just been used as leverage for a new contract. That is which would be pretty peak for us. That's the thing. But yeah, anyway, just last thing on Guiu, by the way, guys. Last thing on Guiu is what are we going on here? Because they've helped us out as well. That's the whole point here. You know, it's like what Everton and Villa have been trading between each other. Chelsea and Villa have traded between each other. Newcastle and Everton are looking at potentially doing a couple of deals between each other. You know. Let me ask a question. When we had Enzo and Caicedo drama, were you for or against the player? You have to accept Kelly Mendy is a necessary evil. Get used to it. No, but we shouldn't have to get used to us having to pay over the odds for academy players to get us out of a mess through reckless spending. But get used to it. That's not something we should have to get used to. That's something that should be a cause for concern. Martin is unhappy. His dad hates Clearlake, so it's good to get over. The release clause apparently was only a Dortmund specific release clause, supposedly. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm unsure on that one. Well, I don't know what the stipulations of it were. You know, I don't think it was a situation where you can have a first team player. It was very much a case of it was going to be an academy player, someone that was going to play not someone that wasn't going to play a major role for Villa. Gallagher might run down his contract. No, it's not. It's quiet because he said that he's going to sort his future out after the Euros. They're buying players before they become superstars. In the meantime, we've got Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo. Yeah, but look, let's be honest, right? How many of those are top players right now? Not many of them. And look, they're all potential. Yes, some very talented players there, but ultimately, you're taking a huge gamble. The whole model is based on a gamble at the end of the day, that these players are going to become as good as the club think they're going to be. That's what we're looking at here. You know, the model is based on a gamble that the players you believe in become as good as you think they're going to be. Look, all these guys here, talented individuals, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the club are taking a gamble on players reaching their potential, and players don't always reach their potential, and these players might not reach the potential that the club thought they would do in the first place. Who is Chido Obi? That's a separate deal, the Chido Obi thing. I don't think Villa did overpay for Ian Martin at all. I really don't. I don't think they overpaid for Martin at all. £37.5 million of someone that's proven to be able to perform on the big stage, got great years ahead of him. I don't think that's I don't think Villa have overpaid for Martin at all. Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Every player's a gamble, but you can get more guarantees with certain players than other. I just think we're taking a huge gamble with the model, because pretty much every player we're signing is, you know, you're banking on them reaching their potential at the end of the day. Well, Dortmund wanted him, but they didn't want to pay, so they missed out. They didn't want to pay the £35 million clause. At the end of the day, they didn't want to pay that, so that was on them. They didn't want to pay it, so someone else came in. Simple as that. And I think it's a good deal. Yeah, Cole Estêvão hitting the Cole Palmer yesterday. We'll dive into that a little bit later on. But yeah, that's the latest on Marc Guiu. Just wanted to add that the secret scout, who does a lot of work on youth football, and he's saying that extremely exciting forward, has the ability to be a top striker, excellent running in behind, and top finishes. For me, and it's more on his behalf, what does his pathway look like? Plan needed. Can't be stalling his growth. And that is absolutely key there. You know, what are the plans here? It's all very well signing these talented youngsters, but if you've got no clear plan and you're just going to be stalling their growth, then it's completely pointless. completely pointless. But yeah, anyway, let's move away from Marc Guiu. Let's move away from Marc Guiu and let's discuss the fact that Chelsea are out of the race for Serhou Guirassy. Should it really come as a surprise? No, it shouldn't come as a surprise, to be perfectly honest, because obviously of the age, and Chelsea aren't looking at doing that sort of business clearly. But it does feel like a missed opportunity. It really does feel like a missed opportunity on this one, because there was such an easy deal there to be done. Cheap, great value for money. This is it here. Let me just bring this up now. Let me switch off this one. Let's have a look here. So yeah, confirmed this morning on Sky Germany. Serhou Guirassy has decided to leave Stuttgart. Guirassy has informed Stuttgart, as confirmed by Bild, Dortmund, AC Milan, and Arsenal in the race. Chelsea out, which is really shit. Really, really shit. Yeah, Davies. Yes, Tottenham are monitoring Jonathan David as well. I don't know how keen Chelsea are on David. We would need to wait and see on that one. Kabasi's mile better than Akampong. Stop the bias. Kabasi won man of the match in the Champions League. Maybe it's time to change the target of likes. 10k subs. It's time for 150. Oh, well, look, I wouldn't disagree, but we're still waiting to hit that 100 likes mark, guys. So smash that thumbs up button. Get it to 100 likes. There's 20 more likes to go. Let's run it up. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new round here. Good show to kick off the week so far, people. Why can't we just focus development into our own academy players? We have one of the best academies and they're all going to be sold for pure profit. I don't think they're all going to be sold for pure profit, but yeah, I'm just not quite understanding what the view is, how this ownership view the academy right now. I thought I had an idea when they first took over, the way that they spoke about it, but the action and the evidence suggests a different story on this one. Absolutely suggests a different story. I don't think Guirassy would be benched to Jackson. But the thing is, there'd be plenty of minutes to go around at Chelsea. Would he start every single game? No. But would he get a decent chunk of minutes? He absolutely would. I mean, look, it's not about playing second fiddle. We're going to have a lot of games next season. There's going to be a lot of rotation, injuries, suspensions, Conference League, domestic cups. These are all things that we need to take into consideration. Yeah, I mean, interest is called on John Duran as well. So I'm looking at this striker list and I'm thinking, well, who's this guy? Who's the guy going to be? Who is the guy going to be that comes in as the backup? I'm not really sure here. I haven't got the money. No, it's not about. We have got the money. Guirassy's release clause is 15 million quid. We absolutely do have the money. There's no denying that. We 100% have got the money, guys. That's not a problem. I mean, look, Jonathan David would be great. Chelsea should absolutely go for Argentinian Sula. Yeah, look, there is interest in Sula from other clubs. He turned down a big move to Saudi Arabia last summer. There are other teams interested. I think Juve want to keep him. Right, guys, so much coming in the chat. Yeah, look, I would agree that we probably do need someone better than Jackson. Jackson, I think, can be a top forward, but yeah, I think right now we do need to bring someone better than him in. But that I don't think that's going to happen. Guirassy was never coming in as better option. Sometimes we need to look from a player point of view. Look, he might not have chosen us, but I still think that we should have pushed harder, because given the options available, given the market, so at this point in time, there's no, Guirassy won't demand high weekly wages. Do you honestly think Borussia Dortmund and AC Milan pay ridiculous wages? Dortmund famously, don't offer big wages. Guirassy's wages won't be an issue. We're pulling out, or we're out of the race, probably because he's too old, or we're not fully convinced. But it would have been a good signing. Really would have been a good signing. But obviously, for reasons best known to ourselves, we've decided against pursuing a deal for Guirassy. Frustrating, I think it would is how I would put it. All player transfers are a gamble, but a good club structure helps to alleviate negative outcomes. We obviously had bad transfers on the Roma. That didn't stop us from winning trophies. No, but also football was different back then. We had a squad capable of winning most of the time under Roman. Whereas now we don't have a squad capable of winning, which is why it's appearing to be a lot more difficult. By the way, guys, almost 200 people in the building. Keep subscribing to the channel, guys. There must be plenty of people in here right now that aren't subscribed. Please do subscribe to the channel. It massively helps me out. Become part of the community. Become part of the journey, guys. Would really appreciate it. And keep smashing the thumbs up button. We're 10 likes away from 100, guys. Let's get there. Should be light work. People, do your thing. If we would have got Serhou, he would have been a starter. I think Serhou would have. I don't know. Look, obviously, in terms of starters, not starters, or whatever, you want players that are going to improve the squad and improve the first team. I'm looking at a lot of the signings that we've made this summer, or the signings we've made so far this summer, and the names that we've been linked with, and none of these players personally are improving the first team. It's fine to add some strength to the squad and some depth to the squad, but ultimately, we need to improve. We need to make improvements to the first 11 as well. And I don't believe that right now, the players we've signed so far this summer, or the names that we've been linked with, we've improved the first 11. I don't believe we've improved the first 11 with any of the signings we've made so far this window, or with the outcome of or with the outcome of any of the names that we've been linked with. So yeah, it's frustrating for sure. It is frustrating. Go on, the club won't come out and say the player rejected. Some of this is PR. Yeah, of course, no, clubs aren't going to come out and say that, the players have been rejected. Absolutely no chance. But I do hear it. I do hear it. I'm starting to wonder how attractive a proposition Chelsea is to more established players or the top players. For youngsters, I think it's a bit different. Maybe that's why we're going for these younger players, because it's a lot easier to convince them to join than it is to convince the more experienced and the higher quality players to join. Maybe that's the case. Our owners believe our current first team are a top 4 squad, though, based on data. Well, that's the thing, though. Look, data is big in football, but I think the way this ownership are going about things, too much emphasis is being put on data. Too much is being done via data rather than just, the good old-fashioned eye test. What is wrong with any of that? What is wrong with any of that? Data's got a place in football, absolutely, and it plays a key role. But I think from a Chelsea perspective, we're far too reliant on data right now. That is my view on proceedings on that one. But yeah, out of the race for Guirassy. Jonathan David, we don't know yet. There is interest from Chelsea. There's been no discussions with Lille. Obviously, Tottenham are interested in David as well. Again, this would be another good opportunity in the market, Jonathan David. It'd be another good opportunity in the market, purely based on purely based on the price. It'd be a great opportunity in the market. 24 years of age. He's got 84 goals in 183 games for Lille. He scores. He scores. Got a decent scoring rate. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He would be he would be reasonably cheap, considering that front 30 million or less could probably get a deal done. It would be a good option. I think it was something, again, it represents a good opportunity in the market, but is it something that Chelsea will do? I honestly couldn't tell you who Chelsea's striker choice is going to be next season. This summer. I honestly can't tell you guys. We're linked with so many different names. You think it's going to be Duran. You think, maybe it will be Omarodion. Those were two main guys leading the race. Now they're out. Then you think maybe Guirassy. Now he's out. Now you're thinking, perhaps Jonathan David would be the best option. We may well end up missing out on him. The next thing Marc Guiu is going to bin us off and sign a new deal at Barcelona. And then you're kind of like, well, right, we're back at square one. What's going on here? Back at square one again. So yeah, disappointing that we're out the race with Guirassy. I think it would have been a good option. Jonathan David, I think, would be a good option as well. But if we don't get David, if Guiu turns us down, where do we go? Where do we go from there? It really is confusing as to where we would go from that point. Because I don't have the answers to that at all. The main issue here is that the strategy of owners was good to make the club financially dependent. They changed everything too fast in the first season. Yeah, I think that's an absolutely fair thing to say. Like, I don't disagree with the changes that are being. I don't just disagree with trying to set up a multi-club model and whatnot, sign players for the future and stuff. But I think you've got to take one step at a time. Sort the first team out. Then once the first team looks relatively stable and is performing well, then get your multi-club model up and running. Then sort of start making signings for the future. We're basically trying to do all three things at once, and it's not working. At the end of the day, it simply isn't working. We're trying to do way too much at once. Way too much at once. Let's just see if there's any more Chelsea, Jonathan David talks. I'm not sure if there is. But look, honestly, I think for me, on Jonathan David, by the way, like with the options available, he is probably he is, for me, the best choice right now. The best choice that we could make in that centre forward position is Jonathan David. Thierry Henry's spoken about him. When you have a player like Jonathan David who runs the way he does in behind, his directness, don't ask him to come to play or assist because he has none this season. If he sees a centre-back dropping, then he'll go in behind. But as soon as he sees there is a gap, he will run. And he's also pretty strong too and loves contact. Look, it's a sort of striker that I think would do well at the club. I mean, Spurs are interested in him as well. That's a bit of a concern. Ben Jacobs reporting that West Ham could consider a move as well. So there's going to be a lot of suitors for Jonathan David. About £30 million for him. Chelsea in the race for him. And Chelsea apparently also discussed David whilst Graham Potter was in charge as well. Let's wait and see. Yeah, it has. I think a lot of stuff's difficult to do during international tournaments. It makes things a lot more. Difficult logistically. It makes things a lot more difficult logistically. Why wants to stay in Germany? I'm not surprised he wants to stay in Germany. He's only 21 years of age. There's no rush for him. Yeah, Tony's there, but at the end of the day, this club don't want Tony. It's not. He doesn't suit the direction that they are going down, and that is unfortunately the reality of the situation. Let me just see if there was any more stuff on Jonathan David before we move on from there. Fritz Romano reporting, I'm not aware of anything imminent between Chelsea and Jonathan David. But look, let's bring up David's stats. And you can say, it's the French league, whatever. Goals are goals at the end of the day. You still got to put the performance levels in. This is it here. So, Jonathan David, he got 26 goals and 7 assists last season for Lille in 47 appearances in all competitions. Decent return. 26 goals and 4 assists the season before. 19 league goals a season, 19 goals a season before that. You know, what you can say is right here that in his career, he has been a consistent source of goals every season. Now, am I saying that he would work well at Chelsea? I don't know, but right now the options that we've got, you know, this guy for sure is the best option on the market right now with the options at our disposal. That for me is the that for me is the thing here. You know, with the options at our disposal, he quite clearly is the best one right now. Be a cheap offer as well. It wouldn't cost an awful lot of money. 24 years of age, still plenty of room, of course, to develop also. Guys, keep smashing the like button, by the way. 191 in the building, only 107 likes. Let's get this up to 150 likes as quickly as possible. Smash that thumbs up button, guys. It's free. It takes seconds. It should just about be down on your screen down here. Please do it. Let's get it to 150 likes. You know, it really helps me out more than you can imagine. Not asking for money, just a simple press of the button that will take you literally 1 second to do. So please do that and keep subscribing to the channel as well, guys. We're 3 subs away from 10,220. Let's keep hitting these little milestones, guys. So please do help me out. But look, if you're looking for a goal scoring record, a body of work, you know, he's scored goals every season of his career, you know, and decent numbers at that as well. The last 2 seasons, he's hit 26 goals in all competitions. Yeah, cool. People can say, you know, oh, it's the French league or whatever. But ultimately, you know, compared to the names that we're linked with, this is quite clearly the best option. Quite clearly. Yeah, but that would indicate that he's not finished then if he's able to produce those kind of numbers. Well, he wouldn't. I don't think he'd be coming for a super sub role. I knew a striker was going to be the sticking point. I would rather have spent 100 million on a striker as opposed to Enzo and Caicedo. Maybe. Let's be honest. Most of these players we keep getting links to come from journalists trying to look. Of course, there might be some element of that, but no, Chelsea are genuinely interested in Jonathan David. There is a genuine interest there. We have to hope all those signings work out and the squad improves and gels with time. Maybe we could catch that UCL spot. Maybe, but we need that next season. We need it. But yeah, look, I don't think David's not that bad, guys. Seriously, he's not that bad. Would it be my first choice? No, it wouldn't have been my first choice. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, given the names we've been linked with, this is by far and away the best name for us, and I hope that we do go for it. But I suspect we probably won't. And we'll end up signing someone between the ages of like 18 to 22. Bit of an unknown forward, probably someone that's not actually been mentioned so far in the media. That would be my guess on proceedings here. It really would be, but let's see. Let's see. I honestly don't think it's a bad situation. Chelsea discussing him would cost less than £30 million. Let's see how it progresses. But yeah, that's kind of the latest on the striker situation. There isn't really too much more to add on the striker front. Guiu could be pretty close. Obviously, David is an option, would be the best option on the market. David, no, he's Canadian. David has been around for about 5 years now for a small fee. During this time, various clubs have signed younger strikers for exorbitant fees. Yeah, look, no one's gone for David as of yet. Look, he could well have had offers, but he may well have decided to stay in Lille. May well have been happy there, not in a rush to leave potentially. So yeah, look, let's see on that. Osimhen's Osimhen new asking price is allegedly 85 million. If we can get him at 230, but the problem is we're not going to get him at 230. You know, we're not prepared to pay those wages, so it's an irrelevant point because that would be deemed out of Chelsea's wage structure. But in theory, yes, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Jackson was great last season, and I'm a big fan of his. You know, stuck up for him more than most last season at times as well. I'm just saying that, you know, it's a lot to ask and a lot to put on Nicholas Jackson to make him the main striker at Chelsea at his age and with his level of experience. You know, this idea that people think, oh, you know, you want to sign a top striker, that means you don't like Jackson or you don't want Jackson to do well. That simply isn't the case. Simply is not the case, guys. It really isn't. So, yeah, I'm confused as to why people think, you know, signing a top striker means that you don't like Jackson, but it doesn't mean that at all. You need two decent strikers. We've got one in Jackson. We need another decent striker to help take the burden of goal scoring off him and for him to learn from as well. You know, that's really important. That's really important also. My point is we need an elite finisher, and the fact that we won't get that is disappointing. I agree on that. But let's discuss this Osimhen deal quickly because it's not. I mean, it's not going to happen or anything. I don't think. But just as a thought, you know, Napoli are now willing to consider offers of about 100 million euros for Osimhen, and that is much lower than his release clause. It's certainly an interesting one. This one, I'm wondering whether Napoli are kind of realizing that people aren't seeing value. People do not see value in the release clause. You know, maybe they're thinking, do you know what? Osimhen's we've actually overpriced him. You know, there's no takers in the market for him at the current price, and maybe they might look into reducing it. We might look into reducing it. Let's just dive into what this is saying. Look, ultimately, even if this was true, I don't see how this changes anything in terms of Chelsea maybe going back in. You can never say never in football. We can never rule things out entirely, but I think it's pretty clear that, you know, Chelsea aren't interested in Victor Osimhen, but I guess you never know. Former Serie A champions Napoli are reportedly ready to drop their asking price for Osimhen as his future grows uncertain. The 25-year-old is looking for a move away, but Napoli's initial 150 million euro release clause has warned off any suitors. Apparently, though, according to reports in Italy, Napoli may be ready to lower their initial valuation to around 100 million euros in the hope that they can free up much-needed transfer funds for new boss Antonio Conte, who's understood to want to land Belgian striker Romelu Lukaku. The report also states that Chelsea, who are understood to be in pole position to sign the Nigerian champions, never opened any negotiation with Napoli. The only avenues open at this time seem to be the Saudi Pro League, where a reported salary of 40 million euros a season has been offered, or PSG, with Osimhen not keen on either option, preferring a move to the Premier League. Guys, just as I said, you know, I think he either stays at Napoli or he goes to the Saudi Pro League or PSG. There's no other options for him right now. No Premier League clubs are seeing value in Victor Osimhen at that price. You know, no other clubs are seeing value in Osimhen at that price, and that in itself is an issue for sure. Absolutely, that in itself is an issue. I mean, look, I'd probably say 80 million pounds would be fair for Victor Osimhen. I think anything over that is a bit unrealistic. Without the elite finisher, can we realistically get top four? Look, if Jackson can improve his finishing and we create the same level of chances, then you would expect so. You know, if Jackson had better finishing last season, if several players had better finishing last season, if he defended better last season, we would have finished in the top four. So yeah, look, I think we do need more striker options for sure. Many players come from the French league and stepped up in the Prem. Yeah, the French league's decent. Bernardo Silva came from the French league. You know, the French league is a good hit rate. You know, Michael Essien come from the French league. You know, there's a lot of Premier League players that have come from France and have done very well in the Premier League. Yeah, if only it was that simple, eh? If only that's how football transfers worked. Yeah, things would be a lot easier, wouldn't they? If transfers worked like that. Look, I think Liverpool under Slot first season are going to be an unknown quantity, going to be a side in transition. I think third place is there for the taking. I don't think Liverpool will necessarily drop out the top four, but you know, fourth place is there. If we won it next season, top four is absolutely there. You know, Spurs, you know, United, your Newcastles, your Villas and whatnot. You know, fourth place is there for the taking next season. If we do the right business in the summer, and if Maresca's allowed to do what he needs to do, then yeah, it's a possibility. You know, there's a lot of ifs and buts, but you know, the top four is there for the taking. Man City and Arsenal comfortably the two best teams in the league. We all know that, but you know, top four is there for the taking for sure next season. But you know, we need to get things right, and that starts in the transfer market. And this news of Osimhen potentially, you know, price dropping to around £100 million sounds good in theory, but I don't think this changes much for Chelsea. I think the price was a big stumbling point, but I think there's also reportedly concerns over style of play as well. And yeah, I don't see it personally. I just don't see it. So that's the latest on Victor Osimhen. Not going anywhere. Don't think he will be going anywhere. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see on that front. But moving away from potential incomings, let's talk about Estêvão Willian, because he scored again last night, hit the Cole Palmer celebration. You know, that's got Chelsea fans very excited. But Neymar has also been speaking about Estêvão Willian, and he said, I think Estêvão is the big talent that is coming in Brazilian football. I think he will be a genius. Now, look, you know, there's a long way to go until Estêvão, you know, reaches the potential that people think he can reach. But the fact is, right now, that in Brazil, he is viewed as the biggest talent. He's probably the biggest talent in South America, along with Kendry Páez. You know, people rate him higher than Endrick. You know, the former World Cup, I think 1994 World Cup winner with Brazil, Branco, who's now head of Brazilian youth football, described him as the best Brazilian-born player since Neymar. Neymar thinks he's going to be a genius. Look, this kid is clearly special. He's clearly got a lot about him. But again, you know, this can't be rushed. You know, don't put stupid amounts of pressure on this kid when he turns up at Chelsea. You know, the plan is for him to go straight into the first team. There needs to be a clear pathway for him. But look, hopefully, you know, with the likes of Estêvão, with the likes of Páez and whatnot, it's gonna be good. You know, it's gonna be a good thing for us. It's an exciting talent. 100% an exciting talent. But there's still a long way to go. There is still a long way to go. But look, he's clearly special. You know, there's clearly something about him. He's clearly viewed very highly and rated very highly in Brazil. You know, ex-players speaking out about him. It's exciting. It's absolutely very exciting. For sure. I think we've got to be excited. We should be excited. You know, ultimately, like, it's a special talent in Brazil. Who's talking about Palmer being sold? Who said that? Who's talking about Palmer being sold? Look, at the end of the day, this is a very, very exciting prospect, and I don't really think we can say too much more than that, other than absolutely top level exciting prospect. Guys, 124 likes. Let's get this up to 150. We're closing in on the 150 likes target. Let's make sure we are getting there, people. Smash the like button. Just keep subscribing to the channel if you're new around here as well. But let's get to it, guys. 150 likes, 200 in the building. That should be light work. Come on, guys. Let's get this job done. I think we should get Jeremy Sarmiento, but of course Brighton own him. Seen stories, and yeah, not true. Yes, big up, bro. Big up, big up. No, but look, I hear that there's a lot of talented players in Brazil, but the way that people speaking about this guy, there's something different in him. There's something different. What do I think about Williams? Who's Williams? Have I just lost my? Have I just gone mind blank here? Williams, Dylan Williams in the academy. I'm not sure. Chelsea might have the best under-23 squad in world football, but. Well, yeah, they might do, but that's not gonna win you stuff, is it? That doesn't win you stuff at the end of the day. So it's all very well having that, but it doesn't win you things. Look, I think we should absolutely be excited. I think we should absolutely be excited, but at the same time, as has been said in the chat, let's not put this pressure on the kid. I know it's not fans doing it, but. I don't think it helps when you've got players and ex-pros, or players and people coming out, ex-pros saying, it's going to he's going to be a genius or whatever, best Brazilian-born player since Neymar, and all this sort. So it's nice to hear. Let's let the kid do his thing. Let's let him do his development. He's not coming until after the Club World Cup next summer. A lot can change in a year, particularly at that age as well. Body's still developing. And all those sorts of things. People overreacting about us selling players. The board we all wanted for years is here. People that understand football in the boardroom, stop acting like under Roman. We made a lot of bad decisions on the Roman. This is my point. Like, I'm all forever grateful, but people, when it comes to Roman, tend to turn a blind eye to all the crap things that happened, and the recruitment was dog shit in the last few years under Roman. Yeah, look, it's not what we were expecting. That's for sure. Absolutely, not what we were expecting. But that's just the way it's gone so far. There's still a long way to go in the window. Maybe some things will change. Maybe some things will change. Yes, big up, brother. Appreciate you. Big yourself up. Nah, not happening. Too expensive. Wage demand's ridiculous. Not going to happen. Why would you care about Elisa when we have Estêvão? Well, he's not here yet, is he? Look, exciting player, good player, way too expensive for Chelsea in terms of wages. Not going to happen. No, he's not going to play. He's going to play the Club World Cup for Palmeiras. He's not going to play the Club World Cup for Chelsea. I've got no idea if Joe Shields has got anything to do with the Guiu deal. I don't know that. Somerville is someone that Chelsea have looked at, but again, I don't think so. No one's denying that at all. No one's denying that. All I'm saying is that when people talk about this ownership, and I've criticised them because they deserve to be criticised, is that when you sort of talk about something, you need to have a rounded view on it. And saying that everything was great under Roman is just factually incorrect. That's all I'm pointing out. But yeah, look, there's a lot of excitement around Estêvão. And look, we've got to manage expectations. We've got to keep calm. He's not coming for over a year still, so let's rein it in a little bit. But I can't deny it is nice to see these things. It's nice to hear him being praised. It's nice to see him doing well and establishing himself as a key player for Palmeiras at just 17 years old. So. These are all positive things. All positive things. No, it wasn't. It was totally unsustainable. Totally unsustainable. I'm pretty sure Southgate's not going to sign a new contract. Where's that been? Where's that been reported? Then that's been reported anywhere. But yeah, look, let's be excited about this kid. But let's keep our feet on the floor and let him do his thing. But there is plenty of reason to be excited. Plenty of reason to be excited over this deal. No doubt about it whatsoever. And it's nice to see him hitting the Cole Palmer celebration. The two having a little exchange over Instagram. Things to be excited about potentially. But yeah, it's nice to see these things. And of course, he was asked a question. No problem. But yeah, let's try and relax on the pressure, certainly from the fan side of things. Estêvão will be here for 2 or 3 seasons max. And then we refuse to give him the money, a talent like him, his deserves, it was sold for profit. I don't think it. I wouldn't be that cynical on the Estêvão thing. For me personally, but yeah, look, it's hard not to be excited. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it. I've got no idea. I've got absolutely no idea. He's someone that's been looked at. Liverpool are also interested. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see on that front. What else have we got going? Yeah, that is true. Anyway, let's move away from this. Let's talk about Amari Hutchinson, because Chelsea are expecting to begin with. Ipswich are expected to make an offer for Amari Hutchinson. He is biding his time and has not made a definitive decision over what he wants to do beyond this summer. Sources have said a permanent move away from Chelsea is an option. Chelsea are expected to ask for around £30 million for Hutchinson. Now, I think this is an interesting one for me, because I would have loaned him back out to Ipswich in the Premier League for another season, go and play some regular Premier League football. I think that's the next step for him personally. But he's done very, very well in the Championship. If Chelsea are not really, I would much rather us give Hutchinson a go with Madueke down that right-hand side, rather than go and spend, a lot of money on someone that's sort of really an unproven winger at the end of the day. I'd much rather we go and do that. But I don't know. I don't know how likely we are to do that. But I think he deserves a chance. He did well. He did well when he came in from Arsenal. He came in from Arsenal a couple of years ago. He then obviously spent some time in the Chelsea youth teams, impressed there, made 2 appearances on the Graham Potter in the first team, smashed it on loan at Ipswich last season. And now that's kind of really put him in the shop window. That's elevated him a little bit. And Chelsea are probably now thinking, if he goes out on loan again next season, if he doesn't do as well, maybe his value drops a little bit. Do we cash in now, or do we take a chance that he's going to do well? So we need to wait and see on that one. But I think he should be given a chance at Chelsea. He should be given an opportunity in pre-season to show what he can do, and then from there make a decision. Even if we've already made a decision on him, he should go on the pre-season tour, be given a chance to impress, and then go. By the way, after 35 minutes, I say change the target of likes. We're 19 from 150. Yes, guys, run it up. 150 likes. We're closing in. Less than 20 likes away now from the 150. Please keep smashing the thumbs up button. Please keep subscribing to the channel as well. But people, smash the likes. 19 likes to go until we hit 150. Let's hit 150 likes now. It should be light work with 187 in the building. Keep pushing, guys. We'd really, really appreciate it. Think he deserves a chance as well. Maybe not now, but after another loan spell. Agreed. Amari is not big enough. What do you mean he's not big enough? I think he deserves an opportunity next season. And if they're just going to go and sign youth prospects from elsewhere, why not just give ones that we've already got a chance? He looks to be an exciting player, good player. He's done well in the Championship, which is notoriously a difficult division, a tough division, hard to do well there. Let's see. But I think a £30 million total package, I personally think it's a bit much to ask. Personally think it's a little bit much to ask for him. But I don't know. I'm unsure. I am unsure, to be honest. But 25, I think 25 million all in is far more realistic a proposition. I absolutely think that's more realistic a proposition for him. But let's see, guys. Let's see. Hutchinson deserves a chance for sure. Absolutely deserves a deal. Any player in the academy gets sold. Hutchinson's not an academy player, by the way. £30 million is a fantastic deal. Yeah, it would be a very good deal. It would be a good deal if someone offers that money, then I think you do have to take it. But if you're not going to get that money for him, then I personally wouldn't be taking the deal. That would be my opinion on the situation. I wouldn't be taking the deal on that front. Not if it's £30 million taking it. Anything less, I probably wouldn't take it. I think he deserves another loan, or he deserves an opportunity in the first team squad to show what he's capable of. But yeah, of course, the news on outgoings has been very slow. It's been very, very slow. I think partly obviously in big part due to the tournaments going on, the Euros and the Copa America. So yeah, let's see. Let's see on that one. Outgoings slow, as I was saying. Yeah, I think things will pick up next month. I think that things will have to pick up next month in terms of outgoings. But it has been generally quite quiet start to the market for Chelsea. I know there's been a few signings knocking about, but generally it's been pretty quiet. Guys, 10 likes away from 150. Keep running it up. Smash the thumbs up button. Let's do your thing, people. Do your thing. What else are we looking at here? I hope so, mate. I hope so, but I'm not really sure what we're basing this on. I'm not sure what we're basing it on, but look, it would be nice to see. Chelsea have kind of pulled a few signings out of the bag, surprise ones in the past. Badiashile, Disasi, Ugochukwu. They're not necessarily big names, but those were signings that there was very little noise about at all beforehand, and then bang, they were suddenly done deals. So it does happen. Let's hope it happens, but I think the reality of the situation for us is it's highly unlikely, I would say, right now at this point. But let's see. Let's see, guys. Yeah, I think. Look, it's hard to argue against that. But look, I think as always in football, the very best will make it. The very best will make it, and the others will be sold on for hopefully a profit. And I think that's the way that's the way it's gonna work, people. That is the way it's gonna work. Guys, just 6 likes to 150 now. Keep smashing it, guys. Almost there. 6 likes to go on the 150. 182 in the building. Big yourselves all up. Yeah, look, if you're good enough, you play. It's as simple as that. Really as simple as that. You know, and that's always been the case. Always been the case. So let's see what happens with Hutchinson. As I said, I'd like him to be given an opportunity, but I think if an offer comes in around the 25, 30 million pound mark, then Chelsea will absolutely look to cash in. I'd be surprised if they turned that sort of a deal down. But there's always a chance that I could be wrong. Always a chance that I could potentially be wrong on that front. Let's see if there's anything else to discuss, guys. Let's have a little look at the moment. 4 more likes to go. Come on, people. Any more news coming in? Anything last minute? No, I don't think so. Don't think there is. I think we've pretty much covered everything, people. I think pretty much everything has been covered, guys. Anyone got any questions in the chat before I round things out? Any questions in the chat from anyone? Do let me know. But yeah, I guess to round out, Chelsea are closing in on a deal for Marc Guiu. Amari Hutchinson has reportedly had his medical today. Official announcement will be this week, I'd imagine. So yeah, let's that's pretty much the main news right now. You know, not too much other incoming news to go through. Let's see if we go for a move for Jonathan David. We'll see on that front. Other than that, guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's locked in this afternoon. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Do you think we can do best without a good finisher? It's going to be tough, but look, I think we need to sign a top-level finisher, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, big yourselves up. Love for all the support. Great start to the week, people. Good show. Appreciate all of you, as always. Smash the like button on the way out. Get this to 150. Keep subscribing to the channel if you're new around here. Enjoy the Euros tonight, Croatia, Italy. And I can't remember what the other game is, but if you're watching those, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Let's see what news is in store for us tomorrow. I'll be back 4 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Enjoy the football. Smash the likes on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here. Up the Chelsea, and peace out.